Through the haze of tears that smear the elegant cursive on the legal documents, Sophia Reynolds grips the pen with knuckles white as snow, signing away her marriage at her in-laws' lavish Thanksgiving dinner in their sprawling Atlanta suburb home. Her free hand cradles her swollen 8-month pregnant belly, the baby kicking restlessly as if sensing the storm raging around them. The entire Harrington family bursts into applause and cheers, their voices echoing off the high-ceilinged dining room adorned with harvest decorations and twinkling string lights. Her mother-in-law, Margaret Harrington, clinks her wine glass against her son's, toasting with a smirk that cuts like a knife. Sophia's husband, Ethan, stands tall beside his pregnant girlfriend, both of them grinning down at the woman they're dismantling piece by piece. But none of them notice the faint glow of Sophia's phone on the polished oak table. None of them recognize the name flashing across the screen, Dad. None of them know that the shattered woman scrawling her name on page after page is actually Sophia Vanderbilt, the only child of Alexander Vanderbilt, the tech mogul whose empire dominates Silicon Valley and employs tens of thousands across the country, including half the workforce in this very city. Sophia's hand trembles as she flips through the stack of papers, each signature feeling like a stab to her heart. Tears splash onto the clauses dissolving 4 years of vows, of shared dreams, of what she thought was unbreakable love. The Harringtons' laughter swells like a cruel symphony, toasting to new beginnings, while Sophia stands there, her back aching from the weight of her pregnancy, no one offering her a seat or even a moment of compassion. They watch her suffer, their Thanksgiving feast, turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, still steaming on plates, the aroma mocking her nausea. This house, with its marble countertops and crystal chandeliers, was a gift from Sophia, funneled anonymously through her family's holdings to help Ethan's struggling real estate business. The deed bears a name they never questioned, Vanderbilt Properties, LLC. Finally, Margaret Harrington stands, her perfectly coiffed hair and pearl necklace gleaming under the chandelier light. She raises her glass high, her voice laced with venom. To my son finally being free from this opportunist who snared him with a baby trap. Cheers to real family. The room erupts again, glasses clinking, backs slapped. But the woman they dismiss as a nobody from nowhere has a father whose net worth could swallow their modest fortunes 1,000,000 times over. The gold digger they sneer at owns the very foundation of their so-called empire, their home, their cars, even the private school tuitions for their grandkids from Ethan's sister. And the tears streaming down Sophia's face? They're not just sorrow, they're the quiet ignition of resolve. Ethan leans in close, his breath hot with bourbon, his cologne, a scent she once loved, now suffocating. That's the last one. You can go now, he says, his tone flat, final. Lila and I have to plan the gender reveal party. Lila, his personal trainer turned affair partner, giggles from the end of the table, her hand possessively on her 6-month bump, the child conceived in secret hotel rooms while Sophia was picking out nursery wallpaper. Ethan's brother, Mark, hoists his beer. To better upgrades, he bellows, and the Harringtons drink deeply, toasting Sophia's erasure as if she's already vanished into the Georgia night. Sophia's fingers clench the pen until it nearly snaps. She remembers the day she met Ethan 5 years ago at a community food drive in downtown Atlanta. She'd been volunteering under her mother's maiden name, Reynolds, desperate to escape the gilded cage of boardroom galas and suitors who eyed her like a merger opportunity. Ethan had been there, handing out meals with a genuine smile, talking about his passion for affordable housing developments, sketching quick plans on paper plates between servings. He'd called her radiant without prying into her background, holding her hand as they walked through the park afterward. She'd fallen for his ambition, his kindness, the way he dreamed of building communities, not empires. She thought he saw her, really saw her, not the Vanderbilt heiress. But the cracks appeared early. 8 months into marriage, Ethan's real estate firm hit rough waters amid a market dip. Sophia offered help subtly, but he bristled, his ego bruised. "I don't need charity from my wife," he'd snapped. Then came the interrogations. Why no family at the wedding? Why the simple ceremony in a courthouse instead of a destination affair? Sophia deflected, clinging to the illusion of normalcy. But Margaret sowed doubt, whispering about Sophia's shady past, labeling her a climber. The Harringtons made her feel small daily, snide comments about her thrift store finds, questions about her lowly job as a nonprofit coordinator. They decided she was leeching off their old Southern money, all $200,000 of it, and turned their home into a battlefield. Sophia straightens, her spine protesting the strain. She stacks the signed papers neatly, her diamond wedding ring, bought with her own trust fund, though they assumed it was fake, catching the warm glow of the Thanksgiving candles one last time. She slips it off, placing it atop the documents like a period at the end of a tragic sentence. "I hope she brings you joy," Sophia murmurs to Ethan, her voice fracturing. For a fleeting instant, regret flickers in his eyes, maybe guilt, maybe the ghost of the man she married. But Lila calls out, "Babe, come taste this pie," and the moment shatters. Margaret blocks Sophia's path to the foyer, her eyes gleaming with triumph. "One more thing before you slink out," she says, voice sharp as a pecan shell. "We've spread the word in our circles, country clubs, church groups, everyone knows about your schemes. Good luck finding another fool to trap with that belly." The words land like punches, the Harrington aunts and uncles nodding smugly, savoring her humiliation. Sophia meets Margaret's gaze, and something shifts inside her, a spark turning to steel. The pain lingers, but it hardens into clarity. "Thank you," she says softly, the words baffling Margaret enough to make her retreat a step. "For revealing your true colors. All of you." Her eyes scan the room. Ethan's brother Mark, who'd mocked her cooking at family dinners, his sister Elena, who'd questioned her upbringing over tea, his father, Robert, who'd bluntly asked if she was after the Harrington inheritance. She memorizes their faces, their scorn. Sophia's phone vibrates again in her pocket. "Dad, the 20th call tonight." She'd cut ties 2 years ago after eloping with Ethan, too stubborn to heed her father's warnings. Alexander Vanderbilt had run a full background on Ethan the day they met, delivering the verdict over scotch in his Manhattan penthouse. "He's ambitious, Sophia. But ambition without integrity turns to greed. He'll love you until he realizes you're hiding the golden ticket." She'd accused him of being overprotective, a control freak shaped by cutthroat boardrooms, and walked away, choosing Ethan's promises instead. What a fool she'd been. She pushes through the heavy front door into the crisp November air, the scent of fallen leaves and distant bonfires mingling with her tears. George's autumn chill bites through her thin sweater, but she welcomes it, anything to numb the fire inside. Snow isn't common here, but a rare flurry dances down, dusting the manicured lawn like forgotten confetti. Sophia stumbles to her car, a reliable 2012 Honda she'd insisted on keeping for normalcy, while Ethan drove a leased Tesla on her dime. Her keys slip from numb fingers into the damp grass, and as she bends to retrieve them, her belly unbalances her. She catches herself on the hood, breath ragged, tears freezing on her lashes. The baby kicks fiercely, a reminder of life amid ruin. "I'm so sorry, little one," Sophia whispers, hand pressing against the movement. "Sorry for this mess." She thinks of Ethan's paternity test demand 3 months ago, the Harringtons' laughter as she wept in their living room. Thinks of Lila claiming the master bedroom Sophia had decorated, raising a child in the life Sophia built. With trembling hands, she fishes out her phone. 22 missed calls, 15 texts. The latest, "Sophia, call me. I'm worried sick." Shame floods her. What words bridge 3 years of silence? Admitting failure to the man who'd predicted it? But the baby kicks again, insistent, and Sophia envisions a future alone, prenatal checkups in crowded clinics, scraping by on her cover job while hiding villains. What kind of mother does that? She dials before doubt wins. Her father answers mid-ring. "Sophia?" His voice cracks, raw with emotion, the unbreakable tycoon sounding human, vulnerable. "Dad," she chokes out, and the dam breaks. Sobs rack her, years of isolation, betrayal, poured into the phone amid the Harrington driveway. She cries for the girl who craved authenticity, for the wife who believed in forever, for the mother facing this alone. "Tell me where you are," Alexander says, voice shifting to command mode, the tone that closes deals worth nations. Are you safe? The baby? I'm at the Harrington house in Buckhead, she manages. I just signed the papers. They celebrated, Dad. Made me stand while they laughed. A sharp inhale, then lethal silence. Alexander Vanderbilt didn't build a tech conglomerate by forgiving slights against his blood. Stay put. I'm sending the team. We're 15 minutes out. My jet landed in Atlanta an hour ago when you didn't answer. We'll handle this, Sophia. All of it. The line clicks off. Sophia leans against her car, watching flurries blanket the driveway, hiding the ugliness beneath. Inside, the Harringtons' laughter filters out, oblivious to the reckoning brewing. Black Escalades pull up like shadows materializing, their engines purring with restrained power. Sophia watches as 4 SUVs park in formation, doors opening in sync. Alexander Vanderbilt emerges from the lead vehicle, his tailored overcoat flapping in the wind, graying hair impeccable despite the late hour. His eyes lock on her, assessing every detail, the puffy eyes, the protective hand on her belly, the slump of defeat. He strides over, enveloping her in a hug that smells of expensive aftershave and unwavering love. Let me look at you, he says, voice soft, thumbs wiping her tears. His jaw clenches at her exhaustion. I should have intervened sooner. When you cut contact, I respected it too much, maybe. But no more. Sophia shakes her head. You warned me. I was blind, Dad. Thought love could be simple, without all this. Her voice wavers. He changed. Or maybe he was always this way. Alexander's eyes harden. You weren't blind, you were trusting. That's a strength they exploited. He pulls back, the tenderness giving way to steel. But trust ends where harm begins. And they've crossed every line. Curtains twitch inside the house. Faces peer out, curiosity turning to alarm as they spot the convoy and the suited security detail fanning out. Ethan bursts through the door, confidence cracking. Sophia? What's this? Who are these people? Alexander ignores him, turning to his right-hand man, Victor Lang, a sharp-eyed lawyer in his 60s, briefcase in hand. Victor, proceed. Victor nods, extracting documents with practiced efficiency. Margaret storms out, heels clicking on the pavement. What the hell is this? You can't barge onto our property. This is trespassing. I'll call the police. Your property? Alexander echoes, voice icy calm. Victor, refresh my memory on 478 Peachtree Lane. The lawyer doesn't blink. Owned by Vanderbilt Ventures subsidiary Atlanta Holdings LLC. Acquired 2 years ago via anonymous bid to settle outstanding mortgages. Current residents occupy under a lease terminated tonight per Clause 12, mistreatment of immediate family. Margaret's face drains of color. Impossible. We've owned this for 20 years. Ethan steps forward, defensive. Sophia doesn't have family like this. She's ordinary. Works at a charity, drives an old car. Alexander's laugh is mirthless. My daughter chose ordinary to test you, Mr. Harrington. She wanted love, not leeches. Sophia Vanderbilt, heir to Vanderbilt Tech, Vanderbilt Investments, and 52 subsidiaries employing 250,000 globally, with $42 billion annual revenue. The revelation detonates. Ethan's shock morphs to horror, calculations flashing, lost billions, a dynasty discarded. Mark drops his phone in the doorway. Lila pales, hand on her belly, realizing her upgrade, just downgraded to destitution. No, Ethan breathes, staring at Sophia. Is this real? You're Vanderbilt? She doesn't respond. She's done justifying. Victor continues relentlessly. Ethan Harrington, your real estate firm survives on Vanderbilt capital infusions, withdrawn immediately, triggering bankruptcy. Margaret Harrington, your position on the Atlanta Symphony Board, funded by Vanderbilt Arts grants, revoked. Robert Harrington, your consulting gig at TechSouth, severed as Vanderbilt severs ties with hostile entities. Margaret sways. You can't ruin us over a divorce. This is madness. Alexander's gaze is glacial. Not over divorce. Over forcing my pregnant daughter to sign papers standing while you toasted her pain. Over calling her a trap while she carried your grandchild. Grandchild, Ethan echoes, staggering. The baby, mine. I demanded a test, accused her, but it's the Vanderbilt heir. Sophia speaks then, voice firm. Our child will be a Vanderbilt, not Harrington. Raised knowing her grandfather's love, but her father's betrayal. Everything except a father who discarded us for convenience. The words gut him. Lila pleads, Ethan, we have our baby too. But he's fixated on Sophia, regret or greed, etching his face. Alexander turns to Sophia. Time to go home. Your suite's ready. Dr. Patel's en route for a checkup. She nods, leaning on him. But pauses, addressing the Harringtons. I loved you, Ethan. Gave up my world for yours. But you loved the illusion, not me. When you thought I was less, you tossed me. Ethan, wait. Ethan lunges, but security blocks him. Sophia enters the SUV, the door sealing like closure. Through tinted glass, she sees their world crumble, Margaret in shock, Robert arguing, Ethan broken. The convoy departs, heading to the Vanderbilt Atlanta estate. Sophia rests against her father, safety washing over her. What now for them? They lose the unearned, home, jobs, status. Wake knowing they squandered a Vanderbilt because of bias. She closes her eyes, the baby settling. Healing begins. 6 months later, spring blooms in Atlanta. Sophia stands in the nursery of the Vanderbilt compound, overlooking manicured gardens where 2-month-old Ava Vanderbilt coos in her bassinet. The room is a haven, soft blues, stuffed animals, bookshelves stocked for a lifetime of stories. Alexander enters with a folder, expression guarded. Final updates, he says, joining her. They watch Ava's tiny chest rise and fall. Sophia nods, knowing the gist, but needing closure. The Harringtons' fall was swift, house foreclosed, auctioned to cover debts. Margaret's social circle evaporated with her board seat. Robert's consulting dried up, the family crammed into a dingy apartment in the suburbs, scraping by on odd jobs. Ethan's firm imploded. Now he stocks shelves at a big-box store for pennies. Lila left him weeks after, raising their child in a cramped studio on aid. Ethan calls daily, begging forgiveness, to see Ava. We can terminate rights fully, Alexander offers. His cruelty documented. Sophia gazes at Ava, who has Ethan's chin but her spirit. No. Ava deserves truth someday, without venom. Block him now. When she's ready, she'll know he faltered, but we rose. Not revenge, but resilience. Alexander hugs her. Wiser than me. I'd erase him. She smiles. You did in ways that teach. Ava wakes, gurgling. Sophia lifts her, heart full. Hello, darling. Your world's waiting. Outside, cherry blossoms fall like promises. Across town, Ethan might stare at the same sky, regretting. But that's his burden. Sophia's story? Survival, reclaim, thrive. Betrayers freed her to soar. And Ava will inherit that legacy. Strength from ashes, freedom from chains. Years pass like seasons in Atlanta, each one layering new growth over old wounds. The Vanderbilt estate, once a place of quiet refuge for Sophia during her healing, has become a vibrant home filled with the sounds of childhood laughter, tiny footsteps racing across marble floors, and the soft coos of a little girl discovering the world. It's now Ava's 5th birthday, a crisp October afternoon with golden leaves swirling in the breeze. The backyard has been transformed into a wonderland, pink and white balloons tied to white picket fences, a bounce house shaped like a castle, tables laden with cupcakes frosted to look like princess gowns, and a pony ride for the dozen preschool friends Ava has made at her elite but carefully chosen private school. Sophia stands on the patio, watching her daughter, now a bright-eyed 5-year-old with Ethan's stubborn chin, but her own curious sparkle, giggle as she feeds carrots to the pony. Sophia herself has changed. The hollow exhaustion that once shadowed her eyes is gone, replaced by quiet confidence. She runs a small but impactful nonprofit focused on affordable housing for single mothers, work that echoes the dreams she once shared with Ethan, but now on her own terms, funded by her trust, but driven by her heart. Her hair is longer, her style more elegant yet grounded, no more hiding behind thrift store sweaters. She's dated sparingly, always cautious, always putting Ava first. But the scars remain. Trust comes slowly, and the memory of that Thanksgiving night lingers like a faint bruise. Alexander Vanderbilt watches from a distance, older now, silver hair fully claimed, but still sharp-eyed and protective. He approaches Sophia with 2 glasses of sparkling cider. "Look at her," he says softly, nodding toward Ava. "She has your spirit. And thank God, not his arrogance." Sophia smiles, but it's tinged with something bittersweet. She asked about her daddy again last week. Not in a sad way, just curious. "Mommy, why don't I have a daddy like the other kids?" Alexander's jaw tightens. "What did you tell her?" "The truth, gently. That sometimes grown-ups make choices that hurt people, but that doesn't mean she's not loved beyond measure. That she has a grandpa who would move mountains and a mommy who fought through fire for her." He squeezes her shoulder. "You're doing it right, kiddo. Better than I ever could." As the party winds down, parents collect their children, and the staff begins cleaning up. Sophia's phone buzzes with an unknown number. She almost ignores it, but something intuition, perhaps, makes her answer. "Sophia?" The voice is hesitant, rougher than she remembers, stripped of the smooth confidence she once loved. "Ethan." Her heart stutters, but she doesn't hang up. "What do you want?" A long pause. I saw the news about your nonprofit. The ribbon cutting at the new housing complex in Midtown. You looked good. Happy." She says nothing. "I know I don't deserve this," he continues, voice cracking. "But Ava's 5 today. I just wanted to say happy birthday to her. Through you. I know I messed up everything. I was blind, stupid, greedy. My family, we all paid for it. I paid for it. Every day." Sophia glances at Ava, who's now chasing bubbles in the grass, carefree. "You chose your path, Ethan. You chose Lila, the upgrade, the celebration of my erasure. You demanded a paternity test while I cried. You let your mother call me a trap." "I know," he whispers. "I wake up every day regretting it. I work 2 jobs now, warehouse by day, Uber at night. Lila left when the money dried up. I haven't seen your daughter since that night. I don't even know what she looks like." The words hang heavy. Part of Sophia wants to lash out, to remind him of every tear, every sleepless night. But another part, the part that's healed, the part that's raised a kind, resilient child, feels only pity. "Ethan," she says quietly, "Ava is happy. She's loved. She's thriving. And she's never known lack or cruelty. That's what matters. Can I ever see her? Even once? I won't push. I need to tell her I'm sorry. That I was wrong." Sophia closes her eyes, breathing deeply. The old pain flares, but it's duller now, like an echo. "No," she says firmly. "Not yet. Maybe not ever. She's too young to carry your regrets. When she's older, if she wants to know you, I'll help her find answers. But that choice will be hers, not yours. Not mine. You lost the right to decide when you walked away." Silence stretches. Then, softly, "I understand. Thank you for even answering. Happy birthday to her, Sophia. And thank you for being the mother she deserves." The call ends. Sophia stares at the phone, a single tear slipping down her cheek, not from sorrow, but release. Alexander appears beside her. "Him?" She nods. "Begging for a chance." "You did good," he says. "Stronger than I would have been." That night, after tucking Ava in with stories of brave princesses who build their own kingdoms, Sophia sits on the edge of her bed, looking at an old photo she keeps hidden in a drawer, her and Ethan at that first food drive, smiling like the world was theirs. She studies it, then closes the drawer. No more looking back. The next chapter begins quietly. Sophia's nonprofit expands, new housing units, job training programs, scholarships for single moms. She speaks at events, her voice steady and powerful, sharing her story without naming names. "I once believed love meant hiding who I was. I learned the hard way that real love celebrates every part of you. And when it's gone, you don't just survive, you build something unbreakable." A year later, Ava is 6. She's started asking deeper questions, but Sophia answers with honesty wrapped in love. One evening, As they watch the sunset from the garden, Ava says, "Mommy, if my daddy ever wants to meet me, will you be mad?" Sophia kneels, meeting her daughter's eyes. "No, sweetheart. I'll be right there with you, holding your hand. Because you're strong enough for anything. And no matter what, you're mine. Forever." Ava hugs her tight. "I love you, Mommy. You're my superhero." Sophia laughs through tears. "And you're mine." Across town, in a small one-bedroom apartment that smells of takeout and regret, Ethan sits alone on a worn couch. He scrolls through news articles about Sophia's latest project, sees photos of her smiling with Ava at a charity gala, both radiant. He doesn't call again. He knows some doors close forever. But in the Vanderbilt home, doors open wide. Family dinners with Alexander, holidays filled with joy instead of cruelty, friends who value Sophia for her heart, not her name. And Ava grows up knowing she is enough, always was, always will be. Sophia stands on the balcony one night, city lights twinkling below. She thinks of that Thanksgiving driveway, the snow flurries, the pain that felt endless. It led here, to peace, to purpose, to a love that never demanded she shrink. Betrayal didn't end her. It freed her. And in that freedom, she built a legacy stronger than any fortune. Ava will inherit more than money. She'll inherit resilience, grace, the knowledge that when people show you who they are, believe them. And when they try to break you, sometimes they hand you the tools to become unbreakable. The story doesn't end with revenge. It ends with rising, with healing, with a mother and daughter walking forward, hand in hand, into a future they shape themselves. And somewhere in the quiet, Sophia whispers to the night, "Thank you for the pain. It taught me how to fly." If this story of Sophia Vanderbilt's unbreakable rise, from the tears on that Thanksgiving driveway to the laughter in her daughter's birthday garden, touched your heart, moved you, or reminded you of your own strength, then you're exactly the reason we create these tales. We share stories like this to remind every woman watching that betrayal doesn't define you. It refines you. That when people try to shrink you, mock you, or erase you, they often hand you the keys to a bigger life than they could ever imagine. Sophia didn't just survive, she thrived. She turned pain into purpose, heartbreak into a legacy for Ava, and silence into a voice that now lifts up other single mothers across Atlanta. And the best part? This isn't fiction for everyone. Somewhere out there, a woman is standing in her own version of that driveway, pregnant, betrayed, feeling like the world is laughing at her. If you're watching this and that's you, hear me clearly, your story isn't over. The people who hurt you have no idea what power they're awakening. Call your people. Reclaim your name. Build your empire, one resilient step at a time. This channel exists for stories of women who rise, who heal, who choose grace over revenge, and who show the world that dignity can't be stolen, only surrendered by those too blind to see its worth. So if Sophia's journey gave you hope, strength, or just a good cry followed by fire in your soul, hit that like button to send this energy out into the universe. Share this video with any woman who needs to hear she is enough right now as she is. And if you want more powerful tales of redemption, resilience, justice, and unbreakable mothers, subscribe and turn on notifications. Part 2 of Sophia's story is coming soon, and trust me, Ava's world is only getting brighter. Thank you for being here, for believing in second chapters, and for reminding me why these stories matter. You're not alone. You've got this. And remember, sometimes the ones who try to break you are the ones who accidentally set you free. Until the next powerful story, keep rising. We see you. We believe in you. Much love.